The counterattack back on location this week. We're in Rio de Janeiro, I assure you. A brand new episode is coming up next. Hi everyone, Greg Mescall here. Thanks for joining us on The Counterattack. We're in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro to be exact, for the 2016 Olympic Games. And while you may not believe it, I assure you we're here. We had all kinds of plans to show you some of the great sights and sounds and scenes from here in Rio. But of course, after days and days of sunshine, it decided to rain today, so we're forced inside. In the meantime, you can enjoy the official Brazilian mascot doll right behind me here. But now on to more important things. What is going on in the water polo pool? Well, first up, it was our men's Olympic team. And as I'm sure you've been following along, they got off to a bit of a slow start, dropping their first two games, but then they came back today on Water Polo Wednesday of all days to defeat France 6-3. In the meantime, the women's competition is just getting underway. It was a good start for the USA ladies as they took on Spain in a rematch of the Olympic gold medal final in 2012. And while no medals were available, the result was quite similar, a convincing 11-4 victory for Team USA. They're back in action tomorrow as they take on China. Right now we're in the pool play stage, so what everyone wants to do is get in the best possible shape for that quarterfinal round. On the women's side, there's only 8 teams in the competition, so they know they're going to get to that quarterfinal round no matter how they slice it. It's just where do they finish in their group, first, second, so on and so forth. For the USA men, only the top 4 teams in each group has 6 teams total, will advance on to the quarterfinals. And Team USA has their work cut out with games against Montenegro and Italy still on the way, although with that win today over France, still alive with a chance to advance to the quarterfinals. Again, don't forget to follow USA Water Polo on social media. Visit usawaterpolo.org. We've got this thing covered wall to wall. We're sharing how you can watch on NBC, live tweeting all the games, sharing images before and after the contest. So be sure to stay close with USA Water Polo as we take you through all the action right here in Rio. Now let's take a closer look at how our teams have done so far. The men, we talked about their results early on. Day one, they take on Croatia, leading early in that match, end up falling 7-5 in a hard-fought game against the defending Olympic champs and one of the best teams in the world. From there, they went on to take on Spain, got off to a bit of a slow start, rallied late in that game as Spain really turned it on in the second and third quarters before falling 10-9 in that one. And then you look to today's game against France. It was all Team USA really from about the midway point of the first quarter. France scored the first goal and then Team USA took over from there. They blanked France in the second and third quarters, Josh Samuels scoring 3 goals. As Team USA was anchored by a strong defense, McQuinn Barron getting the start in net. He recorded 11 saves and Team USA picked up their first victory in Rio. And now to the USA women, just that one game to look back on thus far, an 11-4 win over Spain. These two teams have developed a nice rivalry since that gold medal final in London. You mix in that, the World Championships in 2013, a couple of common trainings, and it's fast become one of the best international matchups in women's water polo. Now let's look ahead. What do they have to do the rest of the way? Well, the women, they will take on China on Thursday, and then they close out group play with Hungary 2 days after that. All of these matches are available on NBC and streaming live on NBCOlympics.com or the NBC Sports app. Meanwhile, the men, 2 more games to go in pool play, and that will determine if they have any more games. They've got to get into the top 4 in their group. As we mentioned earlier, Montenegro, followed by Italy, and then we'll know where we stand as the action segues over to the Olympic Swim Stadium from the Maria Lang venue, and we get into a much bigger venue for the rest of the Olympic water polo competition. We told you already you can watch these games on NBC, whether it's on TV at NBCOlympics.com or on the NBC Sports app, but that's just part of the coverage. Before the games began here in Rio, NBC sent reporters and correspondents out to meet with Team USA. Well-known reporter Alex Flanagan got in the water with the USA women to learn more about the game, how to play, how to egg beater. A fun day there at the Flamingo Club where the USA women are training. And then from there, Top Gear host and NBC correspondent Rutledge Wood picked up Tony Azevedo and they cruised around Rio as Tony showed Rutledge and NBC some of his favorite spots to visit to get something to eat, have a drink, or even hang out on the beach. A lot of fun had by those two guys, and both of those pieces should be coming soon to NBC Olympics coverage during the water polo competition. And some sad news to report here in Rio from the Olympic Games. As many of you have already heard, just a day after arriving here, head coach Adam Krikorian headed back to California after the sudden passing of his older brother Blake. We're keeping the Krikorian family in our thoughts and prayers. Coach Krikorian did return to Rio to lead the USA women to their opening match victory over Spain. Last time we talked to you, we were all about the Junior Olympics. The world's largest water polo tournament had just come to a close in Northern California, but just because the JOs is over doesn't mean we're done telling some of the great stories from that awesome event. Coming up in the next few weeks, we'll be releasing some different features about different clubs that took part in the Junior Olympics, and they'll be available to you right here on USA Water Polo TV at youtube.com/USAWP. Here is one of those very features right now.
Well, we've had some great years. We had a lot of talent, years ago, and so now we're just regrowing again. And we would like to see the numbers a lot bigger, a lot more swimmers playing. It's a little bit of a deficit down in South Florida. A lot of people in the water just swimming, not playing water polo. I hear it's out here also. So we have a lot of youth right now. I don't have 18s. First time I've never had 18s out here, so I'm excited that these girls are 16s and doing well.
When I go to practice, even in the beginning of the year, I'm already thinking about Junior Olympics, yeah, let's go, ready for California. I personally think that I played my best here. When I go to California, it's the top of my playing. I always do my best. I'll probably block something that I wouldn't block in Florida.
It makes me work harder because it lets me know that I can get there too. If someone from my place got there, I can get there too. If they're good, they can get somewhere in life. They actually have a possibility to get to the Olympics.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of people that are now coming out, little kids. She's opened it up. People have never heard of water polo, and they're really excited. We're getting a lot of people of color, and they want to come out and they want to play, and she's been amazing for water polo in Miami.
She's from the same town that I am, actually, Redland, Florida, and I remember the first day that I went to club practice, she was there and she shot on me. And then I realized that she was becoming an Olympian, and I was like, hey, she shot on me when I first got here.
They've always thought we'll go out there and just get demolished. So when they see that it can happen, and they played with her and they know her, and when she comes home to Miami, she comes to practice and she gets in the water with them and helps them, she and her sister Chelsea. So it's been wonderful, and now they see that they can do it.
I'm gonna go to practice, and I'm gonna be like her one day.
It's a great experience. I've never been into an actual tournament before. It's really nice to play here.
It was really cool, and we were all sitting in the stands, and we had our hashtag Team Johnson shirts on because we've all met her at one point, and it was really awe-inspiring to see that there's so many people supporting the Team USA.
We're trying, just exposure really. Just me being out here, I had 3 texts today from people telling me that they're going to join, the people I've been talking to. So just the exposure, seeing Ashley, I think Rio is going to be huge, and all of the exposure she's getting on the news and in the newspaper is going to be really big. So we're hoping that we can add to our numbers, hopefully double our numbers, especially in the youth.
I think if they had more recreational water polo events, just so people hear about it, because a lot of people in Florida, you tell them, oh, I play water polo, and they're like, oh, what's that? And then they go home and they realize my twice removed cousin played that or whatever. So I think if just more people heard about it in Florida, it'd be bigger.
I don't know, I feel good when I play. It feels like this is my sport, this is my home, this is what I do. It just feels like it.
Well, months ago on the counterattack, we showed you this photo. That's right, NFL MVP Cam Newton playing water polo, and the internet went wild. Well, now we can finally get a little bit more in depth on what that picture was all about. It was all part of Cam Newton's show for Nickelodeon, All In with Cam, and the episode featuring water polo is coming up. It's going to air on August 12th at 8 p.m. on Nickelodeon, so make sure you tune in to see just how well Cam Newton did at water polo. And now we close out our show as we do every week with our social media send-off. It's the best of what you've seen on the internet and on social media and shared right here by us. Don't forget to use the hashtag counterattack. And also, speaking of hashtags, at the Olympics, there are nothing but great hashtags. For instance, Olympics is a great hashtag that brings up an emoji. There's also a water polo emoji that comes up when you use hashtag water polo. Hashtag Team USA brings up an emoji. So give those a try. Make sure to tag us as well. We'll share the best of it next week on the show. But now we begin with what else? Olympic Games action. We start off first, the Anaheim Ducks. One of their biggest fans is Team USA's Courtney Matthewson. They're wishing her well as the Olympics get underway in Rio. So much love for Team USA. Here's a couple of tweets. One from Beth Torstensen, and then another from Camilla, both showing off their appreciation. We mentioned those water polo emojis. Of course, Sammy Hill, big on social media. She is thrilled to have a water polo emoji. And then what's great about the Olympics is you often get people watching water polo that maybe have never seen it or haven't seen it for many years. Saturday Night Live's Leslie Jones, star of the new Ghostbusters movie that just came out, checking in on water polo, and she's got some interesting questions.
Okay, now y'all know I gotta ask, right? What's up with the swimming hats? I don't understand that. Does that help them or something? I don't get it.
In addition to wondering about water polo caps, Leslie's also a big fan of water polo robes. Who doesn't like showing up to work in a robe? Leslie is headed to Rio to be a correspondent for the NBC Olympics crew, and we can only hope to get her out to a water polo game coming up soon. Before all the competition, we had the opening ceremony. Sammy Hill, Ashley Johnson, they get to hang out with the NBA players. Some faces you recognize here, Boogie Cousins, among others, in the scene, taking a photo with Sammy and Ashley. Always great to see athletes from all sports getting together. And then the sisters of Team USA, Mackenzie and Aria Fisher, enjoying their first opening ceremony ever as Olympians together. Luca Cupido and Brett Bonani, well, they weren't the flag bearers, but they got pretty close to flag bearer Michael Phelps. This from the Sports Center Instagram. Nice job by those guys. Pro tip, if you want to get in a lot of pictures, get near the flag bearers or get near some guys that play in the NBA. Well done by Luca and Brett. This is what the teams look like in their Ralph Lauren opening ceremony outfits. Take a look at the men's team here. And then after that, the women's squad both looking pretty dapper in these outfits. And these are some of the more functional opening ceremony uniforms we've seen in recent years. Looks like you might actually be able to wear these out for an evening after you get back from Rio. Well, every Olympic Games, there's still a couple of bugs to work out as we get things up and running. Take the showers in the Olympic Village, for example. Alex Bowen has got it figured out. You turn one knob here, water comes out somewhere else. Here's a video from John Mann's Instagram.
We're gonna turn on the shower?
We're going to turn on the shower.
With what?
With the sink.
Fire it up. Yeah!
And if you haven't seen it, Jason Biggs, well-known actor, star of the American Pie films, visited with the men's national team before they headed out to Rio as a correspondent for the Chelsea Handler Show. This episode is streaming now on Netflix. Keep in mind, Tony Azevedo was a guest on the show a couple of weeks back. Check it out. Fun times had by all. One warning, there is some adult language in the episode, so keep that in mind before you fire that up on the Netflix or try and watch it at work or in a public place. And out of the NFL, as we know with Cam Newton, anytime an NFL player can give water polo a shot, we are fans of that. John Hecker, the latest to give it a try. Admittedly, it didn't go too well. This was shared via the NFL Twitter account, and with training camps underway around the country for NFL teams, hopefully we'll see some more water polo action somehow find a way onto social media. So that's the best of what we saw this week on the social media send-off. Don't forget, send in more. We need your content for next week's show. Use the hashtag counterattack and tag us at USAWP. That's going to do it for this week's show. We'll join you again next week from Rio and the Olympic Games. And even when you're at the Olympic Games and you're on the counterattack, don't forget, look weak side.